Britain, land of Big Ben, warm pints, and visa nightmares. That's right, getting into the UK has become a real headache. Thousands dream of experiencing British culture, visiting loved ones, or advancing their careers here. But between dreaming and arriving lies a formidable obstacle course, the UK visa application process. Imagine this, you've booked your flights, packed your bags, and are beyond excited for your British adventure. But your visa application, the golden ticket to your dream trip, gets rejected, or worse, it's stuck in processing limbo. Frustrating? Definitely. But for many, it's quickly becoming a harsh reality. The UK visa system is like a messy kitchen. Applications pile up, deadlines are missed, and crucial ingredients like common sense and compassion seem to be missing. The Home Office, responsible for immigration, faces criticism for its handling of visa applications. Delays, inconsistencies, and a lack of transparency are just the tip of the iceberg. Post-Brexit, the UK has a new immigration system, which, while aiming to be more controlled, has created a bottleneck. Add to that, stories of technical glitches, lost documents, and ever-changing requirements only exacerbate the chaos. Meet Sarah, a bright-eyed student from Brazil who had her place at a prestigious UK university confirmed, her bags packed, and her dreams set on experiencing British culture. But her visa application got tangled in the bureaucratic web, leaving her stranded in Brazil, her academic aspirations hanging by a thread. Then there's David, a software developer from India, who was offered a dream job in London. He endured months of waiting, only to have his visa application rejected due to a minor discrepancy in his financial documents. These are just two among thousands of stories of dreams deferred, opportunities missed, and lives disrupted. The emotional toll of uncertainty, the financial burden of application fees, and the shattered dreams of a future in the UK are the real consequences of this crisis. Remember Sarah, the Brazilian student who dreamt of cobbled streets and British literature? Well, her visa nightmare started with something frustratingly simple: an expired passport. She'd applied for a new one well in advance, but bureaucratic delays in Brazil meant it arrived a week after the visa deadline. "I was devastated," Sarah says, her voice cracking over a shaky internet call. "I'd worked so hard for this opportunity. I had the grades, the funding, everything except a valid passport. The British Embassy," she explains, "was inflexible. No passport, no visa, no exceptions. Many applicants, especially from countries with less efficient bureaucracies, find themselves trapped in a catch-22. If you thought the passport hurdle was tough, wait till you hear about the eVisa maze. The UK, in its quest for a more digital system, introduced eVisa's online visas linked to your passport electronically. Sounds convenient? Not quite. The eVisa system, while seemingly efficient on paper, is riddled with technical glitches. Applicants frequently report error messages, website crashes, and difficulties uploading required documents. Take the case of Deepak, a young entrepreneur from Nigeria, invited to London for a tech conference. He opted for the eVisa route, hoping for a smoother experience. But weeks before his departure, he realized his eVisa, despite being approved, wasn't linked to his passport. The human cost of these visa issues extends far beyond individual frustration. It impacts families, businesses, and the UK's global image. Imagine being a parent separated from your child studying in the UK because your visa application got lost in the system, or a British company losing out on a talented international recruit due to endless visa delays. The stories of Sarah and Deepak are just the tip of the iceberg. The current visa crisis not only damages the lives of individuals, but also harms the UK's reputation as a welcoming and efficient destination for work, study, and travel. The Home Office. This is the department responsible for UK immigration, tasked with processing the mountains of visa applications from around the world. But how did this department become synonymous with delays, confusion, and frustration? Step inside the Home Office and you'll find yourself in a maze of paperwork, regulations, and protocols. Critics argue that the Home Office has become a victim of its own bureaucracy. An over-reliance on complex procedures, a lack of clear communication, and a culture of risk aversion have created a system that's slow, inefficient, and often indifferent to the needs of the applicants it serves. Section 2. The Bureaucratic Machine. The Home Office argues that their priority is to protect UK borders and ensure national security. But critics argue that the current system, rather than making the UK safer, is simply making it harder for legitimate travellers to enter the country. One of the biggest criticisms levelled at the Home Office is its lack of transparency. Applicants often find themselves in the dark about the status of their applications, with little to no explanation for delays or rejections. The result is a system that feels cold, impersonal, and out of touch with the real-life consequences of its decisions. Section 3. The Human Cost of Policy. Behind the statistics, the policy documents, and the bureaucratic jargon lie real human stories. Take the story of Maria, a Filipino nurse who had her application for a UK work visa rejected, despite having a job offer from a National Health Service hospital. The reason? Her English language test scores were a few points below the required threshold. The irony? Maria had been speaking English fluently for years and had even worked as a nurse in an English-speaking country. Stories like Maria's highlight the disconnect between policy and reality. Section 4. A system under strain. The UK visa system is clearly under strain. The combination of increasing demand, complex regulations, and a culture of bureaucracy has created a perfect storm, leaving both applicants and Home Office staff struggling to cope. The COVID-19 pandemic only exacerbated these existing problems, creating a massive backlog of applications and further stretching the system's resources. While the Home Office has taken some steps to address these issues, such as introducing online applications and prioritizing certain visa categories, many argue that these measures are merely band-aid solutions to a much deeper problem. There's a growing consensus that the UK visa system needs a fundamental overhaul. While travellers bear the brunt of the UK visa crisis, airlines also find themselves caught in the crossfire. Imagine a meticulously planned flight, ready to whisk hundreds of passengers across continents, only to be grounded because a significant number of passengers are stuck in visa limbo. Airlines already navigating the turbulent skies of the post-pandemic world now face a new kind of turbulence, the UK's visa chaos. It's not just about lost revenue from empty seats. It's about logistical nightmares, reputational damage, and a growing sense of frustration with a system that seems to work against them. The relationship between airlines and immigration authorities has always been one of delicate balance. Every empty seat on a flight represents a lost revenue opportunity for airlines. When passengers cancel their travel plans due to visa uncertainties, airlines feel the pinch. The financial impact is particularly acute for airlines operating long-haul flights to and from the UK, as these routes often have thinner profit margins. But the financial burden goes beyond empty seats. Airlines are forced to navigate a complex and ever-changing web of visa regulations. They need to train staff to interpret these regulations, update their booking systems, and deal with the logistical headaches of denied boarding and rebooking. The impact of the UK visa crisis extends far beyond individual flights and airlines. The delays and uncertainties create a ripple effect throughout the travel and tourism industry, impacting hotels, tour operators, and local businesses that rely on tourist spending. When travellers cancel or postpone their trips to the UK, it's not just airlines that suffer. Hotels experience a drop in bookings, tour operators face cancellations, and local businesses, from restaurants to souvenir shops, see a decline in customer traffic. The UK's reputation as a tourist destination is also at stake. Negative news stories about visa delays and bureaucratic hurdles deter potential visitors, who may choose alternative destinations with smoother entry processes. Airlines are on the front lines of the UK visa crisis, dealing with the fallout of a system that's struggling to cope. They are calling for a more collaborative approach, urging the Home Office to work with them to find solutions that address the needs of both passengers and the aviation industry. Airlines are not asking for a free pass or a relaxation of security measures. They understand the importance of border control and national security. However, they believe that the current system is overly complex, inefficient, and often counterproductive. The UK visa crisis is a shared problem that requires a shared solution. The UK visa system, as it stands, is tangled in a web of bureaucracy. It's like a giant knot, with each strand representing a complex regulation, a technical glitch, or a communication breakdown. Untangling this knot requires a multi-pronged approach, addressing both the symptoms and the root causes of the current crisis. One of the most pressing needs is for simplification. The UK's visa regulations are notoriously complex, even for seasoned travellers. The application forms are lengthy and convoluted, the supporting documentation requirements are often unclear, and the online systems can be difficult to navigate. Imagine trying to assemble a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle without a picture for guidance. That's what it often feels like for those navigating the UK visa system. Simplifying the rules, streamlining the application process, and providing clear and concise guidance to applicants would go a long way in making the system more user-friendly and less prone to errors and delays. Section 2. Building a system that works. Efficiency and empathy. Beyond simplification, the UK visa system needs a major injection of efficiency. The current system is plagued by delays at every stage, from processing times to decision-making. These delays create uncertainty, anxiety, and significant financial burdens for applicants. Imagine waiting for months for a decision on your visa application, living in a state of limbo, unsure if you should pack your bags or unpack your dreams. This is the reality for countless individuals caught in the UK visa system. Investing in technology, streamlining internal processes, and ensuring adequate staffing levels within the Home Office are crucial steps in reducing processing times and eliminating unnecessary bottlenecks. But efficiency alone is not enough. The UK visa system also needs a healthy dose of empathy. This means treating applicants as individuals with unique circumstances and aspirations, rather than just case numbers in a bureaucratic machine. Section 3. Beyond bureaucracy, restoring trust and opportunity. The UK visa crisis has eroded trust in the system and damaged the UK's reputation as a welcoming destination. Restoring trust requires a fundamental shift in mindset, from one focused on control and suspicion to one that values openness, fairness, and opportunity. Imagine a system where applicants are treated with respect, their individual circumstances are taken into account, and decisions are made in a timely and transparent manner. This is the kind of system that would foster trust and confidence among those seeking to study, work, or live in the UK. The UK has a long history of welcoming people from all over the world, contributing to its rich cultural tapestry and economic vitality. By reforming its visa system, the UK can reaffirm its commitment to global engagement, attract global talent, and rebuild its reputation as a welcoming and inclusive society. A fairer, more efficient, and more humane visa system would not only benefit individual applicants, but also strengthen the UK's economy, its global standing, and its social fabric. Section 1. A system in need of urgent care. The UK visa system, once efficient, now resembles a hospital waiting room overflowing with anxious patients. Stories like Sarah's expired passport and Deepak's eVisa woes highlight a system in dire need of urgent care. It's easy to get lost in the bureaucratic jargon and policy debates. Behind every visa application is a human being. Students like Sarah, eager to contribute, are turned away by bureaucratic hurdles. Skilled professionals like Deepak are left stranded by a system that excludes rather than welcomes. The human cost of this visa crisis is immense. Families are separated, careers are put on hold, and dreams are shattered. Section 2. Opening doors, opening minds. The UK faces a critical choice. It can continue down the path of bureaucratic entanglement, or it can choose a different path. A path that prioritizes people over paperwork and compassion over cold calculations. Reforming the UK visa system isn't just about fixing technical glitches. It's about a fundamental shift in mindset. It's about recognizing the human faces behind the applications and creating a system that embodies the values of fairness, openness, and opportunity. The UK has a rich history of welcoming those from different cultures and backgrounds, enriching its society and shaping its global outlook. By creating a visa system that reflects these values, the UK can once again become a beacon of hope and opportunity. It's time to move beyond the rhetoric of control and embrace the power of connection. It's time for the UK to open not just its doors, but also its minds.